Hey, I'm Joel Gilley. I'm the Public Information Officer for Wayne County, and today we have a very special day in the life of here at Facility Services. Now, Facility Services handles all the facilities owned by the county. We're doing a very special ride along today with Kendall Lee, our director, so we're gonna head inside and see what Kendall's up to. Kendall, what's up, buddy?
What's happening, man?
It's good to see you.
How
We
are
are
you? Good
here
to
to
see you.
learn about what you do every day here for Wayne County.
Oh boy.
So start at the beginning of your day and we'll take it all the way through the end.
Okay. Well, we start our day in the meeting room.
So let's go check out
Let's
the
go
meeting
to the
room.
meeting room.
So this is the conference room.
It is very nice, Ron. We have 44 employees in our department, and this works well for us. We have a meeting once a month to go over what's going on with the employees and what they need to know information. But on a daily basis, this is where me and my guys start out. We actually start at 7 a.m., but most of my guys, we're here about 6:15, 6:30.
Wow.
We sit around in here and drink a cup of coffee and talk about what happened yesterday and a few more things.
This is where all the county's biggest decisions are made,
This
right?
is where the world's problems are solved every morning right here.
One thing that I think is really cool is there is that camaraderie in your department. I mean,
Yes, sir.
it is really cool to see. And I mean, it just goes to show you guys don't start till 7, but you're here at 6:30, 6:15, just to hang out. Just to hang out with the guy. You know, I think that's really cool. It says a lot about your department, right?
Yes, sir, it does. And those guys do have fun. If you worked with them all day long, you would think they hated each other because they just pick on each other all the time. But they do. They get along so well, and that makes it great.
Absolutely.
It really does. It does.
So after you do your meeting, after you hand out your assignments, you guys got a lot of property to take care of, a lot of facilities to take care of.
We do.
Do an incredible job. So I hear we're gonna ride around and take a look and see.
Let's go see some things.
Let's do it. All right, Kendall. So we're pulling out of facilities. What's first on our agenda?
I tell you what, today, let's go around here where they're building the new 911 center, the construction site, and see what's happening out there.
That's right.
And it's right around the corner, so it doesn't take long to get to that one.
The land has been cleared, and that's something that even when the 911 center is not being built, so much of the construction process, all the construction process is overseen by facilities.
Yep.
But I mean, even now on a lot of our construction projects, the new EMS stations, facilities is doing a lot of the work.
We are.
Instead of subcontracting to save money, right?
We are, so doing a lot of it. Matter of fact, we'll visit a couple of those sites today and show you what we're doing in comparison to what the contractors are doing. But you're exactly right. We watch all of this. We're making sure the county is getting what they're paying for.
Which is
That's
great.
our job.
So here we're at the new 911 center, and emergency operations center and everything.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna hop out and take a look?
We'll hop out for a second.
All right, let's do it.
This is as fresh as it gets right here. You see where they cleared the trees, they're still piled up. Matter of fact, they're hauling those off today. A truck will be back in a little while and he'll load a little bit more on there. That's a lot of truckloads of stuff to haul off. But actually, they've already got the driveway built in. They've got the parking lot, the rock pad for the parking lot installed. And what you see over there, the clay, that is actually where the building goes. That's that's the building pad for the actual building itself. Those gentlemen back there in the back, they're actually going to go ahead and start burying drain lines to the sewer system to get a lot of that stuff out of the way while it's relatively dry. I know it rained yesterday and it's wet out here, but it's still dry in comparison to what it's going to be in the winter months. So they'll go ahead and get that out of the way. But this project here, actually, the building itself will be built and completed within a year.
Wow.
Now, it'll take a little longer than that to get the infrastructure in it, but because obviously it's the 911 center, lots of technology that goes into it.
And we want to make sure that the taxpayer dollars are going the furthest that they can. And if we get too far in the project and you have to go back and fix something, it's just going to waste more money, right?
Very expensive, very expensive. So, but this one is going great. There's not a lot going on today. Like I said, they're just burying those pipes and moving the trees. So not a lot to do here today, no one to talk to. So let's go see what else is happening.
Let's do it. So also right around the corner from the facilities department, the new 911 center, animal shelter, is the fleet shop.
Yep.
Fleet shop is something relatively new for the county, right?
Mm-hmm. About 3 years old.
3 years old. We used to, of course, outsource all the fleet maintenance, and now it's all done in-house to save money. We're not having to send it to somebody else. How many vehicles do we have? Do you know?
An exact number I don't, but I know it's in excess of 400.
400.
That the county owns. And you're right, we took over the fleet about 3 years ago, got 3 mechanics over here that take care of all of our ambulances, police cars, county cars, any cars that we own, as well as all my tractors and equipment. They take care of all of that as well. And you're exactly right, it saves us a bunch of money because people used to just take it to, all the different oil change places or the mom and pop shops and all. And the biggest problem we found after we started doing it was what they were paying for was not what they were getting. In some cases, not all cases, a lot of times people were doing a really good job on them.
Yeah.
But in some cases, we were finding they were paying for a product they weren't getting. And now we know when they leave this fleet shop, they are 100% road ready. Our police officers, our EMS people, and our employees are safer because of what we're doing. Our vehicles are going to last longer because they're being maintained well. And you just obviously all being done in-house, so we have control over what does and does not happen to it. Man, we do tires, brakes, oil changes, a lot of the repairs that need doing to these vehicles. These guys can do it right here in-house. We've got professional mechanics. These guys, this is what they do, and we've tried to set them up as best we can. This shop was originally built for the ground shop, and we used to have lawnmowers and tractors in here. Well, when fleet came along, it just worked out well. Little tight quarters. We're hoping in a couple of years we can build something a little bigger. But for right now, it's working. It works just fine. And you can see we stock a lot of tires. We try not to stock a lot of stuff. If the auto zones and the advanced auto parts, the Napas and places we buy from have it in their shop on the shelf ready to go, we buy it when we need it. These guys, if they need a part from one of those places, they pick up the phone and say, I need part number, yada, yada, yada. It'll be here in 5 minutes.
Wow.
They deliver it. They don't have to go anywhere to get it. But the tires, or we keep a few of those. We know what sizes we use. All those sheriff brakes and calipers we're talking about, we've got them over here on the shelf.
Yep.
The things that are a little bit tougher to get, you'll see us have them. Filters, air filters, and oil filters, we use so many of them and they're so repetitive. We do keep a selection of those so the guys can just go grab one when they need it.
And windshield wipers too.
Windshield wipers, same thing. You never know when they're going to just come in and that's all they need.
Yep.
Quick one. But we really do try to do the majority of it here, and I wouldn't be scared to say 95% of it is done right here. They're not scared to tackle that radiator. You come in and the whole interior of a car is to it where they're changing the speedometer inside. Just, anything needs doing is being done. And the long story short, at the end of the day, we want the people driving these cars driving the safest vehicle they can, and that's what we're giving.
So we just left the fleet shop. Great work being done over there. And now we are heading to maybe potentially the new DSS building.
That's exactly right. We're going to the building on Dixie Trail, the old Cooper Busman building. It's a 77,000 square foot warehouse. The architects there this morning going to meet with us they're doing preliminary measurements and drawings to see if we can make that work for DSS. Currently DSS is in the county office building, the boarding building, and the courthouse. And if this works, and we're hoping it will, that would be the new home for it, and all of those could consolidate into one building, freeing up current office space, getting them out of a building that we really can't fix anymore. It's just that dated, and getting them in a central location. It'd be much easier to look after your department if your department's all in one location.
Another important thing the Busman building is used for is surplus storage. Wayne County owns our own cots and our own blankets. Anytime there's a natural disaster and we have to open shelters, we're ready to go.
Because even those boxes are cots that we never put together. Same thing.
And that's I think that's important to note is that a lot of cities, counties rely on outside organizations for their shelter plans. Wayne County has our own stuff. We're good.
We're good. We're good. I don't even know how many we have. It's in the hundreds that we have. Lots of hundreds of them. But you're exactly right. Now, during the last hurricane event, FEMA donated these to us, and like I said, we washed them, and some of them weren't never used, but some of them that were used, washed them, cleaned them up, put them in here for storage.
Really nice.
Next time we have a hurricane event, shelters are required. We'll load these on our truck. We'll take them to the shelters and unload them. And once again, when it's over, we'll go get them.
Wow.
And naturally, where we are, it's not if, it's when.
It's when.
It's when. We use it for surplus furniture. Any furniture that somebody has in the county they want to get rid of, if it's not usable, we trash it. If it's trash, we trash it. But most of it is pretty good. We bring it here, and anybody else in the county that says I need a filing cabinet or whatever, we bring them here first, let them see if we've got one. If we've got something they want, we take it to them. But a lot of times we'll build up such a inventory that we'll actually put it on Gov Deals and sell it. Sometimes we get so much that nobody's asking for, we just sell it. But yes, this is really, really nice for us as far as surplus goes. Glad to have it. This is the old admin building. A lot of people know it as the Board of Elections building. It has housed a lot of things years past, but this is one of the ones when we moved Board of Elections over to their new facility. This building's been empty for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And we are remodeling it.
I don't know if you guys saw who was carrying that door out. They had a Wayne County shirt on.
That's
Those
right.
are Wayne County facilities employees doing the work.
This is in-house.
Yeah.
This is in-house.
Again.
We're doing everything to this one in-house. We've just hired a new electrician. We've just hired a new plumber. Those guys are amazing. I hope everybody gets to meet them. Guys are great. We're going to plumb it, wire it, build the walls, tear out, all of it. Everything to this one will be done in-house.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Painting probably won't and carpet won't, but everything else will pretty much be done in-house on this one, saving us ridiculous amounts of money.
We're looking at the blueprints here that we're drawing up, and so this is basically what your guys use to. I see we have mechanical here, electrical here. It's all broken out for them.
That's exactly right.
These are their marching orders.
This is what you do. This is how you're supposed to do it according to the building inspector and according to the engineer that drew it. But yep, the mechanical, Michael and David are here. They're going to be working on the mechanical, moving some ducts and stuff. We're actually going to save the air conditioning units that were already in the building.
Oh, awesome.
We've just got to rework some duct work, so that's going to be cost effective. Electrical, we're ripping out everything.
Yeah.
It'll be all brand new electrical. But yes, this is what tells you what to do right here. This is kind of the Bible, if you will, as far as what to do on this building.
And you mentioned the plans. You know, everything about this has to be done with inspections and stuff. That's another thing that you deal with a whole lot. In the architectural phase is inspections.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that can be a long process as well, having to revise things and go back to.
It can once you have it designed. And we get the design back, which in itself takes a very long time from the planning it stages to the engineer taking it and designing it and getting it to us. That could be months and months. Then we take this to the city, or depends on where the building is. This particular one is in the city limits, so you take it to the city, and we have to get a building permit to do this, just like everybody else does.
Yeah.
Just because it's the county doesn't mean we don't get any special treatment at all.
That's a good point.
These grounds guys come in earlier. What time are you coming in now? 6 o'clock, something like that. They're coming in at 6, trying to get a lot of it done as early as they can, but it's still hot. It's hot at 7 o'clock. But these guys are great. Really, I pick on them, but these guys, they're 6 of our grounds guys. And right now, we're at the new probation and parole building, the former Farm Services Agency, on the same campus the old Wayne Center used to be. And what we're doing now, the building here is just about finished. We'll go in there and see that in just a minute. But these guys are actually pulling up the old shrubbery and bushes and vines. They're going to landscape this, make it look like new money, and so that the outside will be just as good looking as the inside. And we talked about it a while ago, but they do that. Like you said at the courthouse, they go over there and work for a couple of days, and next thing you know, the landscaping is redone.
Yeah.
The little things that people don't notice, that's the big things.
Yep.
At the end of the day, it looks good. The grass is always cut. These guys. The leaves are always picked up. That's these guys. The bushes are trimmed. Now you can say, well, the grass is a little high at my building today. It's been 100 degrees.
Exactly.
It's rained every other day, but we're getting to it, and they do a great job getting to it. I don't even know. Honestly, I've been told we had up to like 350 acres of grass that they keep cut all the time. 6 people, do the math.
A lot of grass.
Do the math. It takes a while, but no, these guys are great. Like I said, you can see they're pulling these bushes up, getting ready to do the landscaping here, and just doing a good job. all of this was already here. Be the first to admit those bathrooms were here. This room was here. But now this is going to be the waiting area for customers when they come in.
Makes sense.
Yep, they'll have that. Come in the front door. They'll meet the receptionist, which we'll look at in just a minute, and they'll wait right here until they're called back this way. And don't pay attention to cleanliness now because we're still working. But we've designed this as the new receptionist intake area. She'll be back there, obviously behind the glass. It's probation. Got a nice little pass through for paperwork. She can hear you through there, but I can't get to her. There'll be a card reader on this door right here that the employees can go through, but the customers can't go through until she buzzes them in. Now, what you see here was one big open room all the way through.
I remember.
It looked just like what you just saw a few minutes ago. We came in, we framed walls, we tore out stuff, and the in-house guys, my guys framed it up. We put the doors in, we put the ceilings in. This one we had an electrician come in and wire it for us because we didn't have an electrician at the time. Obviously, someone else put the floor covering down and someone else painted it. And on this one, somebody else hung the sheetrock because there was so much of it. But plumbing's in-house, HVAC was in-house, all of the rest of it was in-house. Yeah. And I'm pretty proud of those guys for doing that. We, door hardware, obviously, signs on the doors. We did all of that.
And it's important to note too that now we have IT over here, and they're getting all the IT infrastructure wired up. So I mean, this building's getting pretty close to being ready.
It's close to ready. Bill's finishing up the data wires there. Scott was over here yesterday getting ready to put cameras in. We'll probably be over here the latter part of this week, Thursday and Friday, cleaning it up, a real thorough cleaning, and we're done.
I want to point out something else, Kendall, that I just thought about. When you walked into this room, the light came on.
Yep.
We talked about being energy efficient. This is something that we're using a lot around the county as well, which is a motion activated light switch.
It is. These are called occupancy sensors. Big problem we had in the county was hallways, break rooms, bathrooms, closets. No one would cut the lights off. Everybody thought the next person was going to do it. We started putting these in a couple of years back, and now if nobody's in this room for like 5 minutes, it'll cut off. Bathrooms we leave on for 15 because obvious reasons. If you're in the stall,
you don't want the light.
You don't want the light to go off, and if something has to move to make it come back on. But we set those for 15 minutes. But yes, in break rooms and closets and all the places I named, we're trying to put occupancy sensors just for that reason.
Well, it's smart because I'll be the first to admit, in the kitchen break room at the courthouse, I'm like, I'm not paying the light bill.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that light. So it's nice that they're at least we're trying to be somewhat conservative with the energy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. People don't think about it. A toilet's a toilet, but that is totally incorrect. A toilet now, you get an energy efficient toilet. That one might use half of the water a regular one does.
Oh, wow.
We pay a lot of money for water bills. So, and even the faucets and stuff. And ADA accessible, handicap accessible to some folks. You have to do a lot of things to that, and you see the protection under the sinks.
I was about to ask that, yeah.
A lot of people say, why did you put all that plastic stuff on the pipes? Well, that's protection. So if someone in a wheelchair goes under that sink and they cut the hot water on, hot water comes through them pipes get really, really hot. So if their leg touches it, they won't get their leg burned. So that's why you see that protection under a sink in an ADA bathroom.
Interesting.
Have the bars, have the handicap bars. You're like, why are so many bars in this bathroom? And ADA accessible. If you've never been in a wheelchair or been immobilized, you don't realize how important that is. But to a person in a wheelchair, they have to have those different things to grab and help themselves on the bathroom and off. It works to help them do that, but it makes them feel self-sufficient as well, and they want to be self-sufficient, and that's why you do that. So,
because I've always wondered, is there who says here's where you have to put the handicap rails? Is that
International Building Code?
Okay,
so that's by the building code, and there's a particular place and a particular length and a particular, they have to go in a certain area. I'm sure a lot of technology, a lot of people, input deciding where's the best place for them. But there's a code book that tells us this is where that goes.
Interesting. Hey, Kendall, I noticed the fire system here, and then also the fire extinguisher. Once again, facilities. In my office, it's like once every couple weeks, it seems like, one of your employees is coming through, and I say, hey, Jeffrey, what are you doing
Yep.
today? And he says, just checking your fire extinguishers.
Yes, sir.
That's something that you guys keep up with.
It really, really is, and that is a good point, and I'm glad we're here talking about that, because once a month, somebody has to physically check this. A few years ago, each department...
Jeffrey right there,
Jeffrey,
I think. Yeah,
that's
look.
Jeffrey. That's the famous Jeffrey. Everybody knows Jeffrey. Happy Wednesday.
Yep, yep.
The fire extinguishers, back in the day, each department did their own. Well, what was happening was they're like, yep, it's still on the wall, let me sign it. And then they turn around and walk away. That's not checking the fire extinguisher.
Yep.
To check that fire extinguisher, you got to take that out of that cabinet. You got to look at the dial and make sure it's still got pressure on it. Make sure all the fittings are still in place that hadn't been pulled. You got to turn it upside down, hold it so it don't fall, because if that falls, it turns into a rocket. And literally, you got to beat the bottom of that, but you can feel the powder move. Yep. If you don't, if it just sits there, all the powder's packed in the bottom. When you squeeze it, you might get a little powder, and all of a sudden, all the powder stays on the bottom. Ooh. So once a month, we check them. I feel that powder moving in there. We put it back on the wall, we sign it, we've checked it, it's been actually checked.
Now you can also tell that Kendall is a firefighter, of course, because he just went into a lot of detail about that fire extinguisher. But that's great to know. I'll be honest, I didn't know about turning it upside down.
Yeah, turn it upside down, but hold on to it, don't let it fall. But we do the fire extinguishers, and also the fire alarm systems, even the intrusion alarms. We're kind of in charge of that as well. Yeah. Different fire systems, we have to have those tested once a year. But we actually go around and look at them, make sure they're working like they're supposed to. Security alarms, they kind of go through us as well. And yet one more thing that we take care of in facilities.
Kendall's the guy that comes and reprimands you if you pull the fire alarm like you did back in school.
We
Kendall's
don't like
job.
that. Don't pull it. Unless there's a fire, cool.
Awesome.
All right.
What else do we have to go look at?
We can go to where you want to. We can go to the Shell building. We can go to Miller's Chapel to the EMS station. We can do as much riding or as little riding as you want to.
Shell building.
Let's go to the Shell building.
Yeah. Do you normally drive around like in silence all day, or do you like listen to music or anything?
Oh yeah, I'll be jamming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got an iPod. That's like an 8-track to you young people. But
what's an iPod?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 8-track, same thing, just a newer version of an 8-track.
What is Kendall Lee's favorite music of choice?
That would blow your mind. You might cut that radio on and you might hear gospel music. You might hear country music. You might hear rap music. You might hear rock music. No telling what you're
Really?
Yeah. I told them guys, we used to cut the grass, we'd go cut the airport, and everybody would put their headphones on and just be in the zone for a couple of hours. I said, one day we should switch phones or iPods or whatever you're using. I said, whoever gets mine would be traumatized. You would be traumatized.
There has been so much talk about Park East, the Shell building, and development, and this is it.
This is it. This is it.
This is the Shell building project. It's taken a while, hasn't it?
It has. There was a lot of hiccups on it. And once again, we talked about it this morning, from design phase to implementation to dirt work, to whatever. But a lot of deal with out here. The Army Corps of Engineers had to come in and designate these ditches not blue line streams so we could build. People just don't realize the red tape that goes into getting a permit. But once they got it, it looks like not a lot's going on for a while, but really all of the work has been done. Had to haul in a lot of dirt, get the pad built up. Jackson Builders, a local builder in Goldsboro, which I'm proud to say we do a lot of hiring our local builders to build for us, and we've got some really good ones in Goldsboro. But they've been getting the footings dug and put in, building these retaining walls. That is a loading dock back here behind us. But then they came in and put 4 inches of stone all over it. Now, hence the name Shell building. Your typical building, when you build it, you pour a pad of concrete. This one won't get that. What you do, you build the outside footings and foundations. They're setting up the steel now. They're going to start standing steel tomorrow. So it'll really look like things are moving. Yeah. But that's the easy part. You just put it on, put that big beam on this bolts right here and bolt them down. But in the next couple of months, it'll be done. It'll be finished. But you don't pour the floor, because what it is a Shell building. You're wanting to attract industry here. They'll buy the building because all of this 2 years worth of legwork is done. They could come in, plumb it, wire it, put equipment where they want to, and then you pour the floor. You know, with the roof already on it, which is easy because you can do that on a rainy day. Yeah. So, but anyway, that's the whole deal. This is a 50,000 square foot building.
And it's an investment that Wayne County has made to attract. I mean, it's the county's paying for this to attract business
Absolutely.
and industry. So,
Absolutely. In 2 months will be 2 years worth of work that an industry could come in. That's already done.
Yeah.
All they got to do is come in and finish the inside, and they could be up and running probably well within a year.
Yeah.
To where here, if they started from scratch, they're 3 years away from being in their building. You know, that's the whole purpose in building a shell building, is just for that, to attract industry here to Wayne County, which is what it's all about.
Yep. You got easy access to interstates. You got easy access to rail. You're not that far from the major international airport in Raleigh, and also in Greenville. And you got a port down in Wilmington. So
Yes, sir. Yes,
come
sir.
to Wayne County.
Right here at it.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
That's pretty.
I thought so. Kendall, this has been super informative.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna run inside and say hey to the guys having lunch, but man, we've learned so much about facilities and everything you guys do. So,
Well, hey, I'm glad you did, man. Ride with me again sometime. We might have scratched the surface today. We didn't get to it all, but that's all right. You got a pretty good overview of some things that I don't feel like the average person knows we do.
absolutely. All right, man.
Let's do it again.
We'll catch you later on.
Thank you.